everybody? It's your boy Bosch Gaming and Dolph back again with another episode of Two Fried Eggs podcast. And today we have with us the one and only Matttyice. How you doing, my friend?
What it do, man? Hell yeah.
Good, brother. Good. I'm excited to chat with you, man.
Hell yeah.
I'm excited to be here. Thanks for asking me to join. And I'm looking forward to talking to you guys. So I'm excited about this.
That's awesome.
I want to start off by saying, man, I apologize for having to reschedule there for the people listening, man. We had to reschedule because I've been under the weather for a few days, so I do apologize for having to reschedule. We were supposed to be recording a few days ago, so.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. So let me ask you, what do we call you? Is it Matty? Is it Matt? Is it Matttyice? Like, what do you want us to call you today?
Probably Matty.
Matty.
Yeah, that's what most people call me.
Cool.
You know, dated back to when I was a kid, so that works.
That's fair. So there was another Matttyice, or do you normally spell it with 3 T's?
Yeah, so
Or am I just stoned?
yeah, no, you're exactly right. I wanted to do 2 T's. But there was an imposter Matttyice out there, so I had to roll with the 3 T's, which is fun. Worked out.
2 T's Matttyice. If you're listening to this, give him the fucking name. What's wrong with you, man? Come on, the real Matttyice is on here. What's wrong with these people, man? Come on, man.
Please stand up.
Absolutely. So what's up, man?
Guys, I apologize. Okay, I'm back. I had no sound there for a minute. I apologize. It's gonna be a shit show.
Oh, it's okay.
What else would you expect, though? Right.
Just catch up when you can, there, buddy. Just catch up.
Yeah, it's going blip, 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 blip.
So, Matty, tell us about yourself. Like, are you a streamer? What do you do? Like, what brings you here today?
Yeah. So, well, I think the one thing I'm most known for at all is for creating a DayZ map. I do a little bit of streaming. That's kind of something that I started doing since I started making the map, and I'm gonna stream on Twitch, and I did kick for a little bit, but I stream like map development on Twitch. So I don't really do a whole lot of gaming on there, but I'll stream like the behind the scenes things, like the map terraforming and like the coding and the placement of everything of how to create a map, basically. So I'll stream that a couple times a week for folks to watch. But I don't know, I've been a gamer since I was in 2nd grade. PS2 was my first thing.
Oh,
that I got for Christmas. Yeah,
isn't that cute?
He's so young.
How old are you, Matty?
Sorry.
I turned 30. I turned 30 a couple months ago.
Dang.
Yeah, but so PS2
it sounded so much younger with PS2. That it sounded like it was like.
Yeah, you're right.
Absolutely. Last one.
I think everybody fucking was back then, bro.
Yeah,
like that's what everybody fucking played.
Never played it.
Oh my god.
Except Dolph because he's fucking weird.
Yeah.
I am. I'm weird.
I would play that from sun up to sundown. I would like all night long. It was the best. I still miss that game, but yeah, I started PS2, and when I started playing, DayZ is really the main thing that I play, main thing I do. But I started that whenever it came out on console, and then moved over to PC a year and a half, almost 2 years ago, I guess. So
oh wow, you're that new on PC. That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I probably have only like maybe 100 or 200 hours of DayZ actually playing, and then I've spent every single minute since I got the PC basically. So
yeah, how many hours do you think you have on map making? I can only imagine.
It's hard to say. I mean, I would say between 2,000 to 3,000 hours on this map so far. That probably doesn't even include like the time you spend in Photoshop, the time you spend like in the back end coding stuff, and then also like just straight up research, like what Montana is like. I try to be as true to form as what Montana is. So a lot of research, like the percentage of bears and what type of bears.
You gotta watch Yellowstone, bro.
Yeah, no, I should. No fancy.
You'll be good. Just put a bunch of cows and a bunch of people with cowboy hats running around. You're good, bro.
Who's that
No,
bitchy
I'm
redhead?
Certainly a lot of cows out there for sure. But
That's
Right,
fucking
right,
cool,
right.
man.
That
I
is
played
dope.
the map once, and I got my ass handed to me a couple quick times, and I had to hop off. But I cannot wait to. I was planning on coming this last week for stream, but we were playing Farlight or not Farlight, Fortnite. I'm gonna play this week. I can't wait.
yeah,
It's live right now, right?
I've been getting the itch again to play some DayZ, bro.
Yeah,
it
man.
is. Yes, so the map is not live at the moment. It's
Oh,
the next playtest is starts December 14th, and it'll run
okay.
through the rest of the
I'll have to
month of December.
keep track of that because I'll play it for sure, man. Like I said,
Yeah,
I've been getting the itch to play again. I've been away from DayZ now for a little while. I think actually I've been away from DayZ since the last time your map went live. Right after the map
Yeah.
well, not right after the map went live, but anyway, around that time frame or stuff is when I started. Man, I'm terrible. I get burnt out with games and I play a game for a while and then I got to switch, dude. I can't stay on one game too long, or it's not fun for me. You know what I'm saying? I have to switch games to keep it interesting.
yeah.
But
I find myself wanting to play other games, and then I'll like double click to start the game, and then it'll go through the menu, it'll pop up, and it'll be like, I just want to go back to DayZ. So I just close it and go back to DayZ. That happens all the time for
right.
me. And like with
That's
So
making the map, it's like if I get this weird feeling, and it's silly, but like if I go play like say FIFA or something else for like 2 hours, for example, I'll get at the end of it and I'll be like, "Damn, those 2 hours I could have spent like making progress on the map. Now I kind of remake it. It's like
right.
a weird little like innate, um, like weird, like this
Dude,
self
I
pressure I put on myself, but
I do that same stuff with streaming and all that. I'll be sitting around the house doing something like just browsing YouTube or whatever, and I'm like, dude, what the hell am I doing? Like I could be using this time productively and making shorts or doing this, doing that, And but it's important, I think, and we were kind of talking about this before you got here. It's important, I think, to be able to make sure you take that time to center yourself and to get away from it or step away from it to make you realize how much you actually enjoy doing it.
yeah, I agree. Keep talking about the map here, but I was going hardcore on it for the longest time. I've been working on the map for now a little over a year or so, like 13, 14 months now. And it's been basically every day. It's what I've done. And so I like hit a wall right after the last play test where I was just so burnt out. I wanted nothing to do with it. I was like, screw it. I'm like, I'm not done with this map, but I need some time to break away from it and away from DayZ as well, like how we were talking about. And it helped that I was doing a lot of traveling for work at the time too, so it was easy for me to just be like, I'm not touching this thing for a whole month. Um, and that was really helpful for me mentally and emotionally for just to be able to remove myself away from it for a month or so, and maybe come back, and now I'm just like fired up to work on it again. And so I've been grinding hard for the
Right.
last 2 or 3 weeks, and it's been a blast. I've been having fun with it, but it's good to step away and take breaks from things, especially things you're like all in. Come back
Yeah, no
to
shit, bro.
it.
Yep.
So what brought you to making a map? Like, there's so many maps out there. There's so much like to do on DayZ. What
Well,
brought you to do that? You're on your own.
let me add to that, and maybe this will twist it up, and you might be able to work that in there. But to add on to that comment, when you came to PC, did you know how to code?
No, Bosh, no, I did not know. I still don't
Okay.
know good. I'm still like
All
figuring
right,
it
just
out.
it kind of went along. It went along with your question a little bit, so I thought I'd ask it at the same time.
It's a it's a great question because here's the thing. So when I was on, I'll tell you the long story here. So on PlayStation, I played on PlayStation before. I got DayZ like the day it came out. I was the guy that grew up watching Frankie and like absolutely wanted nothing more than to play DayZ um, because of Frankie and watching his videos.
Bro, that's how I was with Scum, dude. And then it was
Uh,
trash.
Yeah.
I didn't have a PC when Scum was its big thing, and it was like all this hype around Scum getting released and shit. I didn't have a PC. I was an Xbox streamer,
Yeah.
and all I could think about was I want to get a PC so I can play this fucking game. And I mean, it's all right now, I guess. But anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
I should never play it. I should try it. But yeah, I was on
DayZ's
PlayStation.
better.
Yeah, but I was on PlayStation for a long time, and I kept I was a guy that hopped around to a bunch of different community servers. At first, was playing, and I was like, I hate this game. The game is buggy as all hell. The shooting sucks. Like this game it's challenging, and I got better things that I could be doing with my time. So
Yep.
I quit it not too long after starting it again, and completely removed myself from it. And then my younger brother was all into it, and so I was like, this is a way I can hang out with him some, since we don't live near each other anymore. And so I started playing it again and fell in love with it. Right.
Right.
COVID hit, and there was a guy named Matttyice, Rubber Goose, who's a friend of mine, and he and I ran into each other, met each other on some random
Hold on.
community.
What was his name?
Matttyice, Rubber Goose.
A tooth rubber goose.
Obtuse.
All right, cool. I'm just wondering. All right.
Yeah,
Sorry.
It's a hell of a name. A hell of a name.
I like it.
Absolutely. So we developed a friendship as traders at this RP server, right? And traders
Nice.
in Gorka. That server went down, and we were like, well, what the hell are we gonna do now? So we were like, maybe we should just make our own server. And so we started our own server, and that thing was called Lost Souls. The Lost Souls, and Lost Souls is what it was called. And basically, it was kind of towards the beginning of COVID, or I'm sorry, this is just before COVID, really, as we kind of started growing and developing the server. And the server boomed. We were one of the largest servers in the PlayStation community for the longest time. Well over 10,000 people in the Discord. 2 or 3 full servers every night.
Wow, that's impressive, man.
No shit.
Yeah, no, it was big time, and we did a lot of things that kind of helped to change, like the concept of safe zones and settlements, and these types of things. We were some of the beginning people to introduce that to the console world, and
Nice.
and so kind of developed some coding knowledge that way, right? Messing with the types files and the different things you can mess with to edit how a server operates, and that continued on. So for 2 or 3 years, we ran that community. It formed and morphed in a couple different ways, and made a couple different spin-off servers that became really big and different things like that. So eventually, I got a PC. In that process, I got a PC. And at that point, I was like, I'm done with console. There's no way I'm playing console anymore.
Same.
After playing 10 minutes of PC, there's no chance I'm going back to playing console.
Right.
So I managed these community servers for a long time, and in the process, I was like, I love PC DayZ because it's a lot more dynamic. It's a lot larger, a lot of more cooler things you can do, right? Like you can go different.
So much shit you can do. Yeah.
Specific type of play style, you can find it. If you want to play with a certain type of weapon, you can find it. If you want to do fly helicopters, you can find it. There's all kinds of different things up there.
I love flying in DayZ.
Yeah, if you want to fucking kill raptors, you can do it. Tigers,
absolutely. Dinosaurs, yeah.
Fucking whatever.
There's some cool stuff. So the big thing for me was I want to try new maps.
Right.
And I was never a fan of Livonia. I never liked it. So I was like, Chernars, still love Chernars. But I was like, I'd like to try DayZ in America. So I was like, Deer Isle.
Yeah.
All in on Deer Isle when I get a PC. And I did for a while. But as I'm playing Deer Isle, I'm like, this is the coolest, prettiest map that's out there. Like JMC, if you ever hear this, awesome baller map. But this is not.
Right.
This map does not say America in any way, shape, or form. I can't feel like
I played it.
There's not even an American flag in this map. Like, what are we doing here? So I was like,
right?
Yeah. So I was like, why? Somebody.
What the hell?
Yeah, I was like, somebody's got to make a map that is very American. Like it feels American. As you're walking down the street, you're in America, right? Like you're playing an American map.
Right.
Just the same way as you're walking through Chernarus, you feel like you're in the Soviet. You're in the Soviet Union. You're in the blood.
You do, absolutely.
Yeah. So I was like, somebody's got to be able to make an American map. And so I just began looking on YouTube, like how to make a DayZ map, and started looking through things. And my first thing,
Jeez.
similar to
Fucking
you,
YouTube, I love it.
yeah, Bosh, similar to you, is like I don't know how to code for shit. Like there's no way make a map like this. That's just stupid. I can't do that. But like lo and behold, a couple hours into
You
watching
can.
YouTube, I was like, this is not all that. This doesn't look all that challenging. And so I was like, I'm gonna start dabbling in this and just kind of like just for fun and learn something and see how it works.
Hey,
And I found
hold
a
on. You
YouTube.
say it doesn't look all that challenging, but you're talking like 3,000 and 4,000 hours you spent on doing this, motherfucker.
Yeah, no, it's
So
definitely
maybe not so challenging, but very time consuming.
it is a massive time suck, massive time suck.
Yep.
But so
Yep.
I found a YouTube video called "How to Make a DayZ Map in 2 hours." So I was like, that sounds like the video for me.
And 6,000 hours later.
Exactly. Exactly. That's so
Fucking
No,
liars.
You should have paid more attention to that fucking video, dog. I'm just fucking with you. Oh man. So how was that video though? I mean, did you learn quite a bit from it?
Oh,
That's
okay.
so wrong.
You learn everything. You learn the whole complete building blocks for how to make a map. And I'll use this time to give a shout out to DayZ Grandpa. If you guys can get him on your podcast, so you should do it. DayZ,
We'll look
DayZ.
into it, man, for sure.
I'll
Check
send
that
you his
out.
information. But he is, if it wasn't for him, the you'd probably still have Deer Isle. You would definitely still have Namalsk. But you probably wouldn't have Banov, you wouldn't have Iztec, you wouldn't have Chimsy, you wouldn't have all these other servers, these other maps out there that are not part of what I would say your big three, your big two or big three.
Right.
Those kinds of all of those different maps that have been made by other map makers in the community that are not named JMC or shoot. Whatever his name is, that made Mosque. I apologize, I'm forgetting his name.
You're all right. Got me.
But anyways, all those other maps all basically stem from people who learned from the DayZ Grandpa and his DayZ Academy. He's got loads and loads of tutorials on how to make maps, how to do textures, on how to import models, and do all kinds of different things. The guy's a godsend.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, because of him and his videos, I was able to get started on Bitteroot. And so, yeah.
So was Bitteroot the first map you started, or have you started other ones and been like, nah, I don't like the way this is going, or you just been on Bitteroot and going at it?
Yeah, so good question.
That's
Yes
a
and
good
no.
question. I'm
Yes
surprised.
and no. Yeah, I'm surprised.
I'm getting
Yes,
better at this shit as we do it.
Right? Only took 55 episodes.
Then we fuck it all
First
up by
good
interrupting and
question.
laughing.
but
My bad, but yeah.
yes and no. So I uploaded during that video I uploaded a terrain that was actually in the actual Bitteroot mountain range in Montana, a town near Darby, Montana. So I uploaded that terrain and I got to work on the map. I worked on it for 8 months, 10 months or so, and I learned a lot. And I like started to get ready to run my first playtest and like have people come play it, and it got a bug and the file was corrupted, and I had to completely start over from scratch.
Oh.
The entire
Oh
thing.
man.
So completely started over from scratch. I took like 2 or 3 months off and was like, I don't know if I want to go through the entire process again. But lo and behold, I decided I was going to in a different terrain, which is where
Right.
But the good thing, guys, is that map would have sucked ass so bad.
It would have killed everybody.
It was so bad.
Hey, everything happens for a reason, right? So
Yeah, man. So I learned a load through that, and thankfully those files corrupted, and I had to start over. And so it helped me have a leg up starting the current Bitteroot as you know it now, and
right.
the rest is history. So yeah, the short answer to what your original question was, I wanted to make a map based in America that really felt like America,
Right.
and so that was and still is my mission and goal with Bitteroot.
I'm impressed. That was the long
Nice.
story. He was like, "I'll
Well,
tell you
when
the long
you're
portion." It was pretty fucking long.
yeah,
Good job.
Yeah,
when you're done with Bitterroot, let's do like the Ozark Mountains next, okay?
yeah. Well, yeah.
He's like, fuck
Like,
that.
yeah, get fucked.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna do another map or not, but
Do you?
do I what?
Let me ask you this: do you ever think Bitterroot will be done, or was it like, is it one of those projects that where no matter how far, like I understand it'll be done, playable, blah 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 blah, but do you think it will ever, in your mind, be truly finished?
I would say no until no. That's because as the game continues to update, introduce new elements and new features, that's a new opportunity to bring something into the map. Um, and then just
I got you.
create.
That makes
I can
sense.
I can go back and be more detailed in certain things, and right now I'm taking a big brush, if you will, across the map and doing a lot of things, and then I slowly fine tune and make that map, make that brush smaller, be more detailed as I develop the map out more. So once I get the map fully fleshed out, the map is fully released and fully done, there might come times where I want to go back and like do a little bit more detailing. For example, like in the backyard of a property or something, I might want to do like a little scene, like a
Mm.
barbecue or something. Even this, for example, like get a little bit more detailed in something, kind of like Essaker is super detailed, things like that. Maybe the other thing is I've heard a lot about DayZ 2, obviously at some point in time. Who knows when that would happen?
Yeah,
But
when or if, yeah, right.
yeah, but there's been talk of, a lot of us map makers are concerned like, what does that mean for our maps, whether that's already currently done or whether it's a work in progress. And we've gotten some information that, when DayZ moves to the Infusion engine, whether that is a whole new game, DayZ 2, or just a complete, upgraded engine, who knows what that looks like, but that they will provide tools to help us map makers transition our map to DayZ
Port them
2.
over or whatever.
Yeah. So, let's say I finish the map, I'm done with it for a long time, and then DayZ 2 comes out. Well, if Bitteroot's still getting played by people at that point in time, then I'll have motivation to port it over. That's all dependent upon whether people actually play the map right afterwards. If it ends up
Nice.
becoming a map that's hardly ever played, there's no sense in committing all that time to continue building it out, But we'll see.
I'm excited to play it.
Yeah, you
I've played
should.
it a little bit. I haven't spent a whole lot of time on there, but I did play it a little bit, enough to know that it's good. And I've talked to enough people that have played it that have really enjoyed it. So I haven't heard anything bad about it. Like, I've never heard anybody shit talking how crap Bitterroot is. I've never heard that. So it must be decent,
OG
And like I
played there
said,
a
I've
lot, right?
played it and it was fun. Yeah, it was a good
OG
time. It's
played
a
there a
good
lot.
map for sure.
Didn't OG Trees play there a lot?
Oh yeah, I think they did, but I'll be on. Well, it's a good thing, but there for a while the queues were so long that people were having issues they couldn't get in.
Yeah,
Because it
that
was
is the
queued up.
one.
You had pretty long queues there for a while. And then what was the deal with, you had somebody that was like trying to run your shit that weren't actually your official servers or something like that?
Yeah, so there's
God, love it.
Some shady ass shit, motherfuckers like copping your shit or what?
there is some shady shit out there. So first I'll say queues. Yeah, queues are a great thing. It's a great indicator of like popularity, but
Yeah,
that means
absolutely.
that means people can't play the map, right? So like in an ideal world, you don't have any queues, but you have a full server,
A
So
short
Yeah.
queue. Yeah.
It's hard to balance
next,
that shit, boy.
it is really hard. Next play test, I'll have 80 or 85 slots on the server, so that's 10 to 15 less people that could be in the queue, more, and so hopefully
Nice.
that makes the queue shorter. So hopefully you'll get in more easily next time is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, so it's like, I mean, it's a big problem. This whole IP theft kind of deal really is what you're
Yeah.
talking about. So there's there's another guy out there who has downloaded my mod like everybody does whenever you subscribe to a mod. You end up getting those
Right.
files on your computer. Right? So then basically there's tools out there that can unlock, in an easy nutshell description way, you can unlock the contents of the mod and basically have ownership of the files in a way. Um,
Oh.
Or copy of it, anyways.
Pretty much
copy.
stealing it, pretty much.
Have like complete ownership over. You can't like get completely inside all the files, but you can get enough in that you can then go and re-upload them to the Steam Workshop under your own name and your own thing, and basically claim ownership over it. And so what this guy has done is he has done that. And so what Steam does basically is they say, hey, if somebody has stolen your contents without your permission and re-uploaded it without your permission, you can file a DMCA against them, a copyright takedown on them. So if you do that, which I have done on this person multiple times, Steam will then basically notify that person and say, hey, somebody claims that what you have uploaded is actually theirs. What do you say? Like, is that true, or is this actually your product? And so 9 times out of 10, what happens is people will go, okay, yes, this is their content. I'll take it down, and that way they can actually have access back to the Steam Workshop. Because during that period of time, Steam cuts off their access to the workshop for a period of time. What happened in this case? He did this, and so I got him taken down, and he agreed to take it down. And then he did some other shady dealings where he was like uploading to third-party websites, and so I kept like DMCA and striking him down everywhere he went, basically. But then he did this really shady thing where this guy either has a friend, or what I think more likely is he has a burner Steam account, and that Steam account is based out of Turkey, the country of Turkey, right?
Right.
So again, this account uploaded my map again under their own, claiming it was theirs. I filed the DMCA, and this time instead of saying yes, it's there, it's not my content, I'll take it down.
He said it's there.
He said it's mine. He's like, no, this is my content. I own it. So at that point, Steam goes, okay, well, we're not involved in this anymore. This is now a legal dispute. And so Steam goes, you have 10 days, Matttyice, to sue this guy or just deal with it. And so, so at that point, I was like, well, this fucking sucks. So I called, I have a good friend that's an attorney. I called him and I was like, hey, what is this? Like, can you give me just a ballpark what this might look like? And here's the situation.
Right.
And basically, he was like, this guy, if he lives in Turkey, you sue him, that'll cost you a couple grand just for court filing fees and stuff like that. And then you'll have to go to court in Washington State. And I live in Florida, so there's a flight ticket there. You'll be there for like a week or so for the course, so there's a couple of nights of hotel room cost. And then you'll have to hire an attorney, so there's attorney fees. And then you'll have a 15-minute court session essentially. Oh, by the way, this court hearing is going to take place in like 2 years.
Jesus.
So all these things. So he's like, look, at the end of the day, man, like it's going to cost you $5,000 to $10,000 to sue this person. The person's not going to show up because he either A, lives in Turkey, and so he's not going to fly all the way over here in the U.S., or he doesn't actually exist at all, and so he's still not going to show up. You'll win complete ownership over your own product because it's clear and obvious, and he'll get taken down off the Steam Workshop, but you'll never recuperate your funds unless you then sued that person in Turkey, and then you would have to go to Turkey in a Turkish court and have to sue this person to get funds. And he's like, good luck to you if you do that. So
good luck with that. Yeah.
So, for a long time, I was like really upset about this. But I forgot to mention, but after the first DMCA I issued on this guy, Steam requires you to share your personal information when you file a DMCA. They require you to share your full name, your home address, your phone number, and your email address. I was unaware that they then share that information with the person you have DMCA'd.
Are you kidding me?
It is absolutely absurd.
Way.
So this guy gets my full name, my home address, my cell phone number, and my email address, right? Which all is like very revealing.
Jesus
of
Christ.
my right?
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. And so this guy then cyber attacks me. So for the next like 14 days, I wake up to 3,000 text messages, 1,000 phone calls, and like a couple hundred emails every single night of like spam stuff, like porn bots and like membership fee.
Jesus Christ.
My phone's going off the hook. yeah, so this guy has my identity. And so now at this point, it's kind of like I have kids, I have a wife, I have a full-time job. My like,
Right.
I'm relatively easy to Google. I have somewhat of an internet presence in my personal life. It's like this guy could do a lot of damage to me if he really wanted to, and he's already cyber attacking me. That, if I continue pushing this on, what could this guy do?
This
Who knows
guy's
what could.
obviously got nothing better to do with his fucking time, dude. It's
Yeah,
social
right.
media, bro.
Yeah, for stupid
Absolutely.
reasons.
So at that point, I was like, you know what, whatever. Nobody's really even playing his servers anyways, and I'm building enough of a public name in the DayZ community that I can spread awareness of the situation, and people will know to
Right.
trust what I have to say about my creation versus what somebody
Well,
else has to
you've
say.
got a name for yourself, and then content creators and everybody else that can put the word out for you as well. You know what I'm saying? That
And then you're
dude's
coming
shady
on
as
Two
fuck.
Fried Eggs podcast and going to tell everybody that this
Yeah,
is yours.
obviously
And
now everybody's gonna fucking
everybody's
know
going to know.
because
I mean, come on, everybody
everybody's
listens
gonna
to
listen
this.
to this motherfucker.
This was my plan to go viral.
Yeah, there you
We
go.
got you. No worries.
That's it. We got you taken
All
care
right.
of. Consider
All right.
it
Well,
done.
that was fun, man. All right. Have a good night.
How did you get all how did the cyber attacking and all that? Did it just kind of stop, or was there something you had to do to get it to stop, or did you just have to wait until you got bored?
I think he just got bored. He got bored. It just kind of like stopped one night, and I was
Was there any good porn links?
like, no.
Did
I
you
wasn't.
find out you were into some weird shit you didn't know you were into or something? Or
I'm like,
It's
oh,
like,
it wiggled.
you're like, damn, look at that crooked big toe. That's my fetish.
no, I was trying to avoid the viruses that come with clicking on random links from people you don't know.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Good idea. Yeah,
Oh, is that my
It's
problem?
true.
Damn
Yeah.
it.
That's true. Yeah.
I
Now I
trust
know why my
every
sound's
link.
cutting out.
Click, 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 click. Yeah, man. Those are the best links, man.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited to get on there and play some more. How much more have you got done? I know I guess I don't know how to ask the question, but like how close are you to I guess that's how I ask the question. How close are you to finishing up, or are you even in that kind of area, or is there still a lot to be done still?
Yeah, the light. Yeah, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Right, it's getting closer.
Right.
My personal in ETA for release is sometime summer 2024 is what I'm thinking. So probably June, July, honestly.
Right.
And then there'll probably be a few updates after that to come as the map is out and more people are playing and full access to it. They'll find things we found. More updates will come after that. So probably will be a full 2 years. So October will probably be the point where I'm like, this is stable, fully completed for the time being, and done. So October 2024 is probably the ETA. But this next expansion that will release next month is a pretty sizable chunk. Um, it'll take me to. It's kind of hard to say percentage wise, but I would say probably 80% of the land mass would be covered at that point,
Nice.
maybe a little more. Um, and then
How much do you think was covered at the last time that you released it? Like,
probably 55, 60%. That
oh
entire.
wow, so it's a nice another big chunk.
Yeah, so if you can visualize the map itself, like the picture of the map in your head, if you still remember it, there's like two big mountains, right? There's a southwest mountain and there's a northeast mountain that kind of like
Mm-hmm.
anchored the map. So the entire northeast mountain was completely left undeveloped. And the next expansion will develop basically the entire center north of the map and the entire northern mountain. So a bunch of new stuff, like 4 or 5 new towns, 3 or 4 new hunting camps, 3 or 4 new military bases. I got a
Nice.
golf course in the map now, and like mountain resort as well as in the map. So some cool stuff to come for this
Oh
update.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, like when you start this map, let me ask you this: like, I'm trying to figure out how you begin. So, how do you like when you're going into this and you begin? Do you begin in like one town and then just go from that one town and go out from there, or how do you go about? You know what I'm saying? How do you start?
Yeah. So every expansion, what I do is I go and I think of where I want military locations to be. I think in my view, military locations is what drives movement across the map. And
Yeah,
so I want
absolutely.
the military bases to be the priority, right, where they are located on the map, because I want that to be where it drives foot traffic.
Force
So
people to travel.
if I like know I want to expand this corner of the map, I will first start by like deciding where those military locations will go. And then I fill in between that where towns will be. And sometimes they're like
Okay.
right on top of the military base, like in like Marsh Air Force Base, for example, on the map, it has a town connected to it. Same thing with Glasgow Air Force Base, it has a town attached to it. Some military bases
Right.
have that and others don't. Some military bases are really large and some are small. Um, so I do that first, and then I space the towns in between, and then I fill in hunting camps in between that as well. Um, and then any
Okay.
kind of like unique POI that might be in there, like these golf resorts and the golf course, the resort, the sawmill, the wind farm, industrial plants, and those things like that all kind of get filled in between that. What's naturally feeling to it, where they are. But what I do basically is like, well, I'll do like the big stuff first. I'll like lay out the roads how I want them, cross with the section that I want, and then I lay down, put down the buildings essentially where I want them to be generally placed, and I do that across all the towns and all the locations, and then I go like, and then I do sidewalks and fences, and then I go do golf, and then I go do like bushes, and then I go do trees, and then I go do trash, and then I go do signs and red lights and different things like that, and then I go do overgrowth at the end of it all. So I can
Nice.
kind of like I said earlier, the big brush, strokes, as I continue on getting down to more finer details before it's done. So for this
I
episode,
think I saw one of your streams where you were like smoothing out the edges of a river to where there was like these little areas by rocks or something that looked a little jagged, and you were taking the time to go through and make sure all that was smoothed out. And I thought that was impressive just for the fact because it's something that nobody will ever notice, but if you didn't do it, they would notice it. Like it's something I would see and be like, man, that just looks kind of odd. You know what I'm
Kind of
saying?
chintzy.
Like it wouldn't keep me from playing the map, obviously, and it wouldn't make the map not good. Just that little stuff like that. But to see that you were taking the time to actually being like, okay, now like I'm gonna smooth this, and it just lets you know that like this map is the real deal. It's gonna be very, very good just by watching you on stream take the time to just fix those little things that realistically probably don't matter, but will make like because people aren't going to be running by there and notice, hey, he smoothed that part out, But people will run by there and be like, well, that looks kind of janky just a little bit, and run off about their business. And I don't think I think that can
Or they
go a
won't
long
even,
way,
or they won't
and
even
people won't even
register it.
realize it.
They won't even realize it,
Yeah,
and they'll walk and they'll be like, "There's something like just off about the game," and it's those kind of
yeah,
issues that they don't even. It tickles the back of their brain because they know it's not right, but they're just trying to like the game. So
yeah. So I think that'll go a long ways, and it just shows how much you care about what you're doing.
yeah, I appreciate you saying that. I really do. They what's been fun, and this kind of like a joke between other map makers, is that we will go play each other's map, or we'll even go play Trinaris and Livonia, and we'll just notice flaws, like something's
Right.
floating that we'd never noticed before. Like there's a piece of the ground, kind of like you're saying, a jagged piece of the ground that could have been smoothed out. Um, but like these are things that we never noticed before we started map making, and so um,
Yeah.
kind of like you're saying with those streams, like I kind of point that out sometimes to some folks, and I'm like, I'm smoothing this out because you won't ever notice it probably as you're running around my towns, but I will
Yep.
notice it forever, and I'll always know it's there. And now when I go play Trinaris, I know that there is a stream over on the west side of the map that is super jagged right now, and it irritates me when I.
Right.
Because I'm like, they
Yep.
could have just smoothed this out. Like, how hard was it to smooth this out? But like it's funny, and then like that this particular person, I remember they were like they learned the same thing as you. They were like, I never would have noticed that, I'd never seen it. And then they went and played in the malls later that night, and they text me, and they were like, I noticed a bunch of jagged parts all over the place. Like, it's
Right.
like
on the
now,
Mollusk, it's horrible. I love the map, but it's a horrible map though. Like if you look at it, it's it could be better.
That map is fun as fuck, though, bro.
Yeah, well, yeah, I haven't spent a ton of time on the mollusk. To be honest with you, I should play it more. The few times I played it, it the frozen food thing gets me every time. It's like I like it being so cold and like the challenge of that, but
Yeah.
I hate that I have to warm up my food in hopes that it actually works to warm it up for me to eat it. It
I
doesn't make
love it.
sense.
We
It
had
can
a
be
we
very,
had
very
the
But yeah,
tedious if
no.
it's on really, really hard. We had a server set up that was really hard, and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
tons of fun. But goddamn, sometimes, man, it can be frustrating.
Oh yeah, you're on a mission. You're out there hunting somebody. You're like,
Yeah.
we gotta make a fire just before we fucking die, because we're
Yeah.
gonna die if we. It's you're fucked. Like I love it. It. I never liked survival
Yeah.
games. I will tell you that for like I'm late to DayZ. Like I've been playing for maybe a year and a half. I love how hard Nimals can be. Like it's fun for me. I don't know why, but it is.
Yeah, I like I found it very impressive when I did not plan to make a fire, and then the
Yeah.
night came, and I was just fucked, royally fucked at that point. And I go running out in the middle of this snowstorm at the nighttime, and I'm like immediately start kind of like taking hits of health hits, and I'm like, that's such a cool component. Like it's so cold, it's colder
Right.
at nighttime. Just that the game does that. It's just the mechanics of how it does that, and that's not. It doesn't always happen naturally. Now that I know a little bit more about how DayZ works, like he's
That's
scripted
cool.
that and he's coded that and he's designed that to happen, which I find fascinating that they're able to write that into the code, and everything like that. The other thing I find fascinating is that DayZ, the engine, takes elevation into account, like actual real elevation. And now, as somebody who's imported a in real life location into DayZ, like if you go to the top of my mountains, it is colder
Oh
than the
wow.
Malsk up there. It's 1,200 meters. Yeah, it's 1,200 meters up. And if you go up there, you need to be wearing at the least,
Right.
some warm clothes. Um, and I learned that on accident. Like I was in the last playtest, I went up to go see a new radar tower that I put up at the top of the mountain, and I went up in just a t-shirt as a fresh spawn, basically t-shirt and jeans, and I was taking massive health hits and was having to crawl back down the mountain, and it was getting warmer as I was going back down. So. And I was like, "Oh my god, that's so cool!" I did not do
Automatically
that,
did
but the
that
game
shit.
itself saw, okay, this is really fucking high in the sky. It's going to be really cold. I just thought that was cool. And so with that in mind, at the new mountain, there is a military base, it's kind of like VMC quality, that's at the top of the mountain, where it's going to be cold. Like you need to wear clothing to go up there.
Nice.
But there's be some good loot up there, to get to. If you can get past the mountain lions
And
and
the
the bears
players
You
and
can
the
too.
wolves to
survive.
get up there, you can
Right.
get some
Yeah.
pretty
And
good
the
loot.
players. Yeah.
And the players
Gotta
too.
love it. There are many ways to die in
Players.
DayZ. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, there is.
Yeah.
I can still remember the first time I died
Oh
to
yeah.
a wolf.
Yeah.
I was like, this is fucking bullshit. Like it came out of nowhere. Like it wasn't even a part of
Right.
a pack either. It was just someone had spawned one, I guess, and it was ran away and it came. I was so
That's
pissed.
what
I
you
was fully
gotta love
yeah.
about DayZ. You spend like 2 hours running somewhere just to get killed by a pack of wolves and sit back to the coast. Like fuck.
I was so fucking
Oh my
mad.
gosh.
Yep.
Fuck
Yeah.
this game.
Yeah. Absolutely. Have you, Dolph? Have you run into
No,
one of
I
my
have
mountain
not.
lions yet?
I have dealt with tigers. We did a jungle mod
Okay.
on Livonia, and we tried to get the tigers in there, and they were pretty fucking wild. They're cool, but they didn't really
That's
like
cool.
when you shot them and tried to like skin them out. They were just bears. It wasn't like the mod didn't go deep enough into what it should be.
Yeah.
In my opinion. But they're scary as
Okay.
fuck though.
I got you.
Right.
Well, yeah. Well. So my mountain
I have not. No
lions.
sir.
Bosh, have you run into one of the mountain lions? No. Okay. All right. Well, this is a
Run.
little advanced tip for you
Run. Yeah.
guys. So, yeah. Well, my mountain lions, they spawn as solos. I think
Ooh.
like you have, there's a slight chance that they'll spawn as like a duo, but it's mostly just a solo single mountain lion. Um, and basically it's a reskinned wolf that's kind of on steroids in a sense. Like if you count wolves as like tier 1 of a predator, and then bear is tier 3. My mountain lions are
Okay.
kind of like your tier 2. Like it's kind of like in between. They take it about halfway, or they take between the same amount between those two of like the amount of damage it can take, and also deals with that amount of damage. But they're like silent. So wolves, you'll hear the howl. Bears, you're gonna hear them in the distance. And then my
Oh
mountain lions don't make
shit.
any sound on approach. Like you'll be running through the woods, and all of a sudden you get like a big wolf,
That's real
that
life,
big lion
bro.
that jumps out
Yeah,
on you.
that's real life,
Yeah,
Because
dude.
that's how mountain
you're
lions
not
are in real
wrong.
life.
I'm
Like,
just scared.
yeah, they're
That's all.
silent.
Just don't
They're
mind me.
silent.
If you find out, usually if you know a
Yeah.
mountain lion's in the
Yeah,
area,
no, so
it's either because it wants you to know or it's eating you.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
yeah.
maybe, but
Or it's hurt, I guess. Yeah, yeah. So that's how my mountain lions are. They're silent, and then they basically are equal to two wolves, like in terms of like how much they can take, and then also how much they can deal. So if you run into a mountain lion and you don't have like proper weaponry on Bitteroot, it will kill you.
interesting.
Like you will not survive one mountain lion. But they're once they're on top of you, to add into the element of like the like scary part of them, is they
I
are
Oh
love
like
it.
very
shit.
loud. So like as you're running silently, you know, little old Rolf is running through the mountains, running through the forest quietly, trying to link up with Bosch. And then all of a sudden, this silent
Fuck.
mountain lion, jumps up on you
Oh,
with
I
this big
can't wait.
roar, and like it scares the shit out of you. And then you're
See, now I'm gonna run around the mountains until I
they're
find
great.
one. That's
They're
what I
Yeah,
have to
we're gonna
do.
have to go. We're gonna have to go looking for him.
Oh,
I
don't
say
worry,
looking
guys.
for him. I guess we just run
So
around till they find us, huh?
I think wildlife.
Yeah.
You will just run around. They'll find. Yeah. So in my mind, I think you can talk about like the mollusk really. I think DayZ is a little too easy.
It can
I think
be
like
for
vanilla
sure.
DayZ is too simple and too easy. There's like not enough survival component to it. The wildlife is not as dangerous. The zombies are like
No,
they're
yeah.
annoying. They're not even dangerous. They're just annoying. Right? The players are really comes from. So like with Bitteroot, I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna make wildlife be like a staple of the map. So like you could be a freshie and you might run into a bear 10 minutes later. Like there are bears in cities, there are mountain lions in cities and wolves in towns, and like there is no place on the map
But
really
that's
that
what
is
it should
safe
be,
from
though.
potential
That's what it would be in
predators and
the
wildlife.
apocalypse, though. Like
And
they
Yep,
wouldn't be
I agree.
restricted to the wolf. They'd be everywhere
absolutely.
because we wouldn't be fucking
Yeah,
with them.
because the population would just go crazy again if people got to where they were bare minimum humans or whatever around. I mean, yeah, the nature would take over for sure, no doubt about that.
Yep. Absolutely. And then the other component is that there's random spawns of bears and wolves
Every
and
time you
lions that
say that, I
happen
want to
in
say
the
"Oh my"
middle of the
after it.
woods in the middle of nowhere.
Please do.
Do it. Yeah. Well, so they're out there. They're out there in the middle of nowhere because, and again, in my mind, we talked about earlier, their military points drive foot traffic. The other thing that drives foot traffic is shots. So like you hear shots in the distance, most players will turn towards the shots and go chase the shots. And other than players, there's not a lot of things in DayZ that make you have to shoot your gun because you're not
No.
really shooting zombies very often, and you're not gonna. I mean, you can melee a wolf, but you might shoot a wolf, but you're definitely gonna shoot a bear. So you're talking really just players and bears that drive shots. Well, like I made mountain lions and wolves and bears be shot makers, creators, I guess. So I have them all set up in a way that if you may be wandering in the woods by yourself,
Right.
but I want to
Yeah,
try to
that's
get
gonna
you to
drive
shoot your gun,
interactions and shit.
so
Yep.
that way people then know where you
Yep.
are. It drives interactions. That's the whole point. Is like a map that drives interactions across the entire map. Is really the kind of like the mindset and mentality I have as I'm designing the loot tiers and the loot progression and the animal spawns and zombie spawns. Is like what is going to make this spawn drive foot traffic and drive
Yeah, outside of
interactions,
the mollusk,
good
zombies are
or
just
bad.
annoying. The mollusk, they're fucking real. Like
Yeah.
they
At
are
least on
like
I don't know how we're set up on our server, but on our server, dude, that we had or have, I guess,
Oh
still, but
man,
it would, yeah, they'll fuck your ass up, dude.
I've
But
died
then
from
again,
zombies.
you're still not shooting a lot unless you've already aggroed the whole goddamn area, and then at that point, you're just wasting all your ammo shooting a bunch of fucking zombies,
Yeah.
Or you're gonna die anyway.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. There's Is the Mosque? I've seen it happen more on the Mosque than I have anywhere else, and I don't know if it's like a vanilla component of the Mosque or it was a mod or something, but um, zombies that like during
It's a
the
mod.
daytime they just walk, like they
It's a
kind of walk
mod. We
slowly.
we we used it on
It's a
our
mod,
RP
okay?
server. For during the day they walk and they moan or whatever. At
Yeah,
night they
Mhm.
run and they're highly aggro.
I
Yeah,
usually moan at night. That's weird. They do it
yeah,
backwards.
normally by
I'm about
himself
to
too. So
moan
it
as
doesn't
soon as
matter.
we get done here, honestly.
yeah.
Oh goodness.
But yeah, that's cool. I wish that's how the zombies were, by default. I think that's a super cool component. The problem is most people, as you guys server owners probably a lot of
Right.
times people just
It
log out
sucks
at
as
nighttime
streaming.
and
I
they go
mean,
play
as a
somewhere else, and
streamer,
then they come
I'll
back.
tell you, man, the nighttime DayZ is not real enjoyable for me most of the time unless I have night vision or something like that. Any other times, there has been times where I've just jumped and I'll be like, well,
Yeah.
we're going to watch
Watch
for
YouTube
some fucking
videos.
random YouTuber or some clips or TikToks or something until nighttime passes. Then we'll go back to streaming DayZ.
The mosque is cool though. You can run around at night on the mosque
Yeah.
and be okay because of either the northern lights or just the night isn't very dark anyway. That's the one map that you can run around on pretty well.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, big time.
Yeah, that's
Is that
true.
right?
Because there's something. I think it's like the reflection. Maybe it's the snow or something that makes, or I don't know if it's just a setting or what. But yeah, you can kind of get
setting.
around at nighttime. Yeah, I figured it's the moonlight reflecting off the snow.
Gotcha.
You're just romantic. You're romantic. It's okay.
Yeah, I'm the romantic.
Yeah.
What can I say?
Yeah. The only time that I'm like, I actually will play DayZ really these days is whenever the playtests are open, and so I'll stream gameplay the entire time I'm doing that. But I'll when nighttime falls, I'm kind of sadistic. I
Right.
like true dark, like the super pitch black.
I mean, that's the
dark,
way it
like where
should
you
be,
can't
unless there's a full
I like
moon
it
or
to be
something.
dark.
I mean, because
So
I've been out in the middle of nowhere. Like I used to go camping out in in the Ozarks. That's where I used to always go camping down the Ozark Mountains here in the Midwest. And I'm telling you, if it was cloudy at all
okay,
or the moon wasn't full or something, you couldn't see your fucking hand in front of your face at nighttime down there. I mean, it was just that dark.
Yeah.
You couldn't see anything.
right, yeah. So I mean, I like that, and I just like I'll plan ahead and just go hide
I
up in the
wonder if
woods
you
and make
can
a
make
fire,
it
and
to
I'll just
where
chill
it
there
would
for the 30
like
minutes and
cycle
talk
with
to.
a moon cycle or something. Because like down there too, when it was a full moon, a lot of times it was almost like, I mean, you could see pretty well. So I wonder if there'd be ways to cycle the nights where it would be like, whoa, well, this tonight it's cloudy or whatever, and now you can't see shit, and then the next night you're playing Bitteroot and it's a full moon and not cloudy, and it's not that bad at nighttime or something.
There's
I
got to
wonder
be
if
a
you could
mod out
cycle it
there.
like that. That'd be crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, the only problem I would see is that your the day and night cycle inside the game itself is like, a matter of hours versus,
Right.
our day and night cycle being 24 hours. So obviously, where I am, it's 10:30 right now, and
9:30. Yep.
if you're in the
It's
Midwest,
10:30.
it's what, 9:30 or so for you now. So yeah, so then imagine the guys that are in Europe. So yeah, I'd wonder
Right.
where it would just be hard to do, with the time cycles.
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
But yeah, that would be cool.
I'll tell you, man, I'm looking
That'd
forward
be
to getting
cool.
some time on it. And like I say, and I'm getting the itch to play some more DayZ. That's one of those games I'll always end up going back to. I mean, there's times where I'm like, I'm done with it. I'm just not playing this. I'm going to go do this, and then I always end up looping back around to it at some point and playing it for a while. So you say it's the next time to play
Yeah.
it will be December 17th. Is that correct? 14th. Thank you. 14th.
December 14th.
Hey, man, I'm on all
through the
kinds
end
of
of the
cold
month.
medicine. You leave me alone, Dolph, all right?
Yep.
So
I haven't even smoked any weed in fucking 5 days, bro, because my lungs are shot. That's how bad that is.
Oof.
I'm not, but if you'll send a link to us, I will get in there for sure.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, all of the the sneak peek pictures and videos are inside there, and then also the dates for the event are in there.
Yeah, be sure to send all that stuff too, so we can put it in the links on the video and all that, and hopefully we can help drive a little bit of traffic over there to the Discord as well.
Yeah.
So Matty, I got a question for you.
I will for sure.
I found this out. I've been playing Bear Island. Have you played it yet?
Yeah.
Okay, who the fuck makes a DayZ map called Bear Island that doesn't have fucking bears in it? There's not a single bear anywhere.
There's no
Me
bears
and fucking
on it?
Tanning are running through the other night because it's on the PvP server right now. And I was like, fuck you, let's go kill some bears. He goes, no bears. Like, wait, what?
How the fuck is it Bear Island but no bears? What the fuck?
I
That's-
don't
I'm not
know,
knocking the
but
guy that made it or nothing. I don't know anything about it, but it just seems
it's a
odd.
beautiful map. But I wanted to go fucking hunt bears. Bullshit.
Interesting.
That's interesting. I don't know. I don't know. I've heard of the map. I don't know anything
I
about it
haven't
though.
played it.
Aside from I've just heard the name, but that's interesting. I have a bear town, and I have like 6 or 7 bear spawns in
Yeah,
it just
you
because
should always
like,
have a bear
I'm
Yeah,
weird
it's got
though.
a
I have
bear.
not played a lot of
So,
maps on DayZ.
yeah.
Like spent tons of time until recently in the Molsk. But I've always just been a Cherno fucking, or Chinaris or whatever playing that map. That's all I've ever really played it. Hours and hours and hours of. And I don't know why either. I don't really have a reason, I guess.
For sure.
I mean, I played some Deer
Hours.
Isle. I played a lot of Livonia. I finally learned that map and stuff, but I don't know. I think by the way you're talking and stuff, man, I'm really looking forward to getting on there and spending some time playing on Bitteroot. Next time it comes out, I'm gonna have to really get on there and play.
I really want to
put some
explore,
time in, because the last time that you had it up, I did get on there and play a little bit, but I was already on that kind of my walking out on DayZ again type of phase. So I played it a little bit, but I didn't really invest a lot of time. And so this next time around, man, I'm going to definitely try to give it a go and put some time in, and I'll have to let you know, man.
Yeah.
I'll let you know after I get some hours in on it. See what.
Yeah, I'd love to think. Listen, there's right now there's a lot of good maps that are out in testing, that are like in development stage, and that are to come. Not some folks are making maps currently that they're not taking the same approach as me. Like I'm doing a play test every periodic, to get confirmation, right, from the community as I'm developing it. There's like some maps out there like Deadfall that are coming that are going to be killer, awesome maps. There's Hashima Islands. Have you
I have
that
not.
one?
No.
Hashima Islands. Have you seen? Oh man. So Hashima Islands, I'll just spend a second talking about that one. So this is one you're going to want to look out for. It's by a guy named Creepy Crap Show. That's what he's called. Creepy Crap Show. He's a guy from Brazil. He is awesome. He's making this map called Hashima Islands that is super small. But it is it's a Japanese island. It's Hashima Islands, but that translates to Battleship Island. Yeah, and so this map is like uber detailed. He's like changed every single vanilla item to be like a Japanese version of it, like with a lot of anime is in there. And I don't like anime, but if you like anime, like it's all over the place. There's like it's super detailed, like underground, above ground pipe systems. I mean, the whole nine. Like this man has gone super detailed. That one's a map that should. I don't know when he's going to release that, but I would guess it's probably in the next 6 months or so. That's going to be an awesome map. Deadfall is going to be another fantastic map.
So crazy.
These are maps that are like kind of being like tight-lipped. They're a little bit more, they're not being as public facing as maybe I have been. But they're going to be
I love about
very
DayZ,
good quality maps.
We're talking about all this detail and all this stuff, and we're literally talking about maps that are made so people can go kill each other on them.
Yeah.
Like, this murder.
Well, I think it's just so cool because this is all added on to the game by just the modding community, which is crazy, bro. Like it's not like this is just the devs coming out with this shit and dropping this shit. This is all coming from the DayZ community, which is fucking wild, dude. Like I don't really know many other games like that,
Yeah.
Well, like we were talking to Boydie, last week, that if it wasn't for the modders and the map makers and shit, DayZ would have died a long fucking time ago. And don't get me wrong, it's in a great place now. I think it's probably in the best place it's ever been in since I started playing it. But I think they're like you said, like Boydie was saying last week, that there was a time period that the modders really freaking saved DayZ and kept it afloat until the devs and everything kind of got their shit together,
Yeah, I mean, I actually watched y'all's episode
He's a
of
cool
Boydie
dude
the other day. Boydie's a good friend of mine. He is cool. He's fantastic. And you guys talking about that, I didn't know DayZ was in that place. I mean, I started
Same.
doing DayZ when
So
when it came out on console, so I was, and just recently PC, so I had no idea that had ever happened to DayZ being that low. I had my own frustrations with DayZ, as it felt like, for as a role play server owner, kind of a role play, like light role play. Like, I felt like the game was moving more and more towards like this deathmatch PvP type deal for a while, and that got really frustrating. And it seems like lately they've been kind of going a little bit more back to survival. They're kind of trying to balance it back out a little bit, which I think is fantastic. And I agree. DayZ is in the best place it's ever been today, and I'm excited to see what could be coming in 2024 from them. Who knows? And I'm curious to see what Reforger actually is, because I don't think Reforger is an actual game. I think Reforger is the beginning of DayZ 2, personally. So I'm curious to see what, over the next 12 months, what comes of DayZ, what updates they push, and then also what happens to Reforger, because I think Reforger is the
For
key
those
to
of
DayZ
us,
2,
for those in our
personally.
listeners that have no idea what Reforger is, can you let them know? Because we all know here, right? But nobody at
I
home.
know exactly what we're talking
we all
about.
know what it is. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. So Reforger is basically Arma Light. So Bohemia has Arma, which is like their big military sim. That's their like flagship game. And then they have DayZ, obviously, which was originally a mod of Arma,
which is crazy.
And so now there's this new game. Yeah, crazy. So then there's this new one called Reforger that came out 10 months ago or so, or whatever.
I think I saw something about that. It was only out for a little bit, wasn't it?
It's kind of like Arma. Yeah, so it just left early access. It wasn't early access for a long period of time, and it just went stable like the other day. But it's basically Arma. I think it's Vietnam era type stuff. Like definitely Soviet era, like the 80s, 70s probably. But it's on some like, I don't know, like I really don't know what the game actually is, to be honest. I've never played it. I've just like seen it a lot, but there's a lot of DayZ mods of it, like people trying to turn it into DayZ, because it's on the newest engine. It's got all the newest technical aspects that Bohemia has. So like, it has helicopters built into the game. It has cars built into the game, like in a much more sophisticated,
DayZ cars
better
are
way than DayZ
not
actually
the best, or
It's
where they
cooler
weren't.
than-
I don't know about now, but
Yeah, DayZ cars fucking suck. Oh, they're still terrible. But like helicopters, they fly like Arma helicopters. They fly really, really well. Like the whole thing's really great. It's on the newest engine, so that's they've been so it's like a military game on this little island, like based in the 70s and 80s. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it was like, originally they released this game as saying it was kind of like a beta test for
It's
Arma
small.
4,
Wow.
the new one that they're making. And yeah, but in the process they created a full scale game now. And so it's like, well, what is this thing? Why are you spending any time on this if it's just say like beta for Arma 4, but all developing it? But the last couple updates, they added helicopters and a lot of like trail markers. They had a lot of civilian-esque type deal that may be an indicator that they're, again, scale speeder.
We
You
don't
guys
know
know
shit
scale
around
speeder?
here. We're just potheads, bro.
So scale speeder. Scale speeder is he's like one of like the grandfathers. He's not, that implies old, but I don't think he's old. But like he's like a father figure of DayZ. He's like one of those like big YouTube guys that share tutorials, like coding tutorials, or like new aspects of the game. Like he's fantastic, and he's a very big influential voice for DayZ community on YouTube, I guess is what I'll say. But he has a theory that Reforger is the future of DayZ 2, that they will eventually introduce DayZ 2 as a mod of Reforger, and that's how they will transition to a DayZ 2.
The way they did Arma and DayZ. I mean, it would make sense that they would just play it the same way, I would think.
That'd be cool.
Absolutely.
Well, Matty, I tell you, man.
I agree.
I have enjoyed this, but I am fucking miserable, dude. I have actually enjoyed this talk. I don't know if I can hold on much longer without taking some meds, bro. Dude, I'm super excited to get on, especially after talking with you. I'm super excited to get on Bitteroot and spend some time exploring and getting scared and screaming like a bitch when a mountain lion attacks me. So I cannot wait to play it and and spend some real time. Like I said last time, I was on my way out on DayZ and branching out to other games again and shit like that. And it's kind of sounding like I'll be just getting back into DayZ about the time that you're doing this, because I'm kind of getting that itch to start playing again, honestly. So if that is the case, I will definitely be spending a lot of time on Bitteroot checking it out, brother. And I can't.
Good.
Oh, yeah,
go ahead.
Oh,
Do you mind if I ask you guys a question real quick before you go? Well, so I'm curious. I guess a couple prong question here is, one, how do you guys know each other? And then
We're
two,
lovers.
what made you start a podcast?
We're actually in
We're
the room
lovers.
next to each other. Like it looks like we're in different places.
No, we met each other. I was streaming and we were playing GTA RP, and he joined the Balla gang with me, and we just kind of branched out from there. We were doing GTA RP together, and that's how we know each other and have become friends. And then through him being a part of my stream and us talking behind the background and stuff, we became obviously friends more than just the streaming and content creation. And then at one point, Dolph approached me with the podcast idea, and I was kind of iffy about it and stuff. But I mean, he was the one. He's like, "Look, all you got to do is show up. I'll do the editing. I'll do this. I'll do that." And I was like, "I just really want to do this." And I'm like, "Fuck it, sign me up, dude." So if it wasn't for Dolph, man, we wouldn't be here doing this. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I find you guys that do podcasts to be an interesting breed. I mean, that's not something I work on. But I think you guys are super important. And I know you guys do more beyond just DayZ. But like people like Boydie and people like yourself, and there's some other new podcasts that are popping off that are related around DayZ and other games and survival games in general, which is kind of more my genre.
We're just trying to.
But you guys are super important.
I appreciate that, man.
I think
we're just trying to kind of do our best to bring creators of any sort on, honestly. Like, you're creating maps and doing that kind of thing, and then content creators, and then Boydie with his podcast and everything, man. So one hardest thing about creating content and creating maps and all that is building hype and traffic and getting the word out, man. And that's really what we're trying to do here, I think. So
yeah, absolutely. I mean, I view you guys kind of like the glue that keeps the community together. You help to disseminate the information. You help to bring awareness to projects and to certain people. You guys are a really important part of the DayZ. I'm sure you're also. I don't play other games, so I don't know how you are with the other games, but you guys are very influential. You guys are super helpful with helping people grow, and I appreciate you guys taking on a podcast, and then also
we are
spending some time with me.
We're super excited to play some Bitteroot, baby. And thank you as well for coming on and spending the a little over an hour sitting here bullshitting. Sorry I wasn't feeling better, man. I tried to mute when I coughed. So but Matty, it has been our pleasure, brother, and you've been great. And once Bitteroot comes out, maybe we can have you back on after this next playthrough and have a little chat once we've spent some more time playing it and whatnot. So
yeah, absolutely. It'd be fun to come on and get your reaction. Your things you love and the things you hate about
absolutely.
it. I'd love to hear.
Fuck yeah! All right, boys. Until next time, Two Fried Eggs podcast, baby. Matttyice.